having this side girl for almost 15 years of our marriage. I've known about her almost since the beginning. I've known that Kevin is a serial cheat.
Sharina Hudson, getting out of my car with my money. Life is not what you think it is behind the scenes. Trust me. Homegirl is miserable. Like, that's what you get.
Oh my God, this situation just keeps getting worse, and honestly, nobody saw it reaching this level. What started as a messy breakup has now turned into a full-blown legal battle that could change everything. Wendy Williams is not staying quiet anymore. She is fighting back, and this time, she's coming with serious accusations. Reports are now saying that Wendy has taken legal action against Sharina Hudson, claiming that Sharina used her money to buy property. Yes, you heard that right. Not just small expenses or gifts, but actual real estate. And the shocking part, this isn't just gossip anymore. This has made its way into court where serious questions are being asked. But here's the twist. This story didn't just happen overnight. This is years of pain, betrayal, and hidden secrets finally coming to the surface. And now that everything is being exposed, people are starting to connect the dots. So how did it get this bad? How did a love story turn into lawsuits, financial chaos, and public embarrassment?
Don't recommend that you work with your husband, because I made him my manager, and then when I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired. In other words, I made him divorced and unemployed all in one day, having this side girl for almost 15 years of our marriage. I've known about her almost since the beginning. I've known that Kevin is a serial cheat. The first time I found out was while I was pregnant with our son on bed rest. During that time, I gave birth to him. He was in the delivery room. You'll see that play out in the movie. He's passing out cigars, and you know, my wife and I, you know, little Kevin, who's not so little anymore, he's 20 years old. I plotted to divorce Kevin, and I sacrificed a lot of myself to come out successful on the other side.
Let's take it all the way back, because to understand what's happening now, you need to see how it all started. For years, Wendy Williams built her name as one of the most outspoken voices in entertainment. She was bold, honest, and never afraid to say what others were thinking. Her show became a daily routine for millions of viewers. People trusted her. They listened to her opinions, laughed with her, and even cried with her. But behind the scenes, things were not as perfect as they seemed. Her marriage to Kevin Hunter looked strong from the outside. He wasn't just her husband, he was also her manager. He helped run her career, made business decisions, and stayed right by her side as her success grew. Together, they built a powerful brand. But what nobody expected was that Kevin was living a double life. At first, it was just rumors. People whispered about him cheating, but Wendy kept going. She stayed focused on her work, kept smiling on camera, and didn't let the outside noise break her.
You know, less than smart women who moved to the big city with bright lights, you know, and she wanted to be a model. And so you know how the girls with the sparkler champagne bottles at the club, they get people to spend more money, they dress scantily clad and things like.
Some say she already knew, but chose to stay for the sake of her family and career. Then came the moment that changed everything. Wendy found out that Kevin didn't just cheat, he had a child with another woman. That woman was Sharina Hudson. That news hit like a storm. It wasn't just betrayal anymore. It was something deeper, something that couldn't be ignored or brushed aside. This wasn't just about a mistake. This was a whole secret life. And just like that, everything fell apart. Wendy filed for divorce in 2019. She ended the marriage and removed Kevin from her business. It was a bold move, but also a painful one. She had to walk away from someone she trusted for years. But here's where things get even more complicated. Even after the divorce, Wendy was still ordered to pay Kevin alimony. That meant he continued receiving money from her, even after everything that happened. For many people, that didn't sit right, but legally, that was part of the agreement.
Backwoods Barbie.
He was tricking up money. She's in the passenger seat of my Rolls Royce Ferrari. And,
Now, while all this was going on, Sharina and Kevin were living their own life, and from the outside, it looked like they were doing just fine. Nice home, expensive cars, and business ventures. It seemed like they were enjoying a comfortable lifestyle. But what nobody expected was where that money was really coming from. According to the latest claims, Wendy believes that her own money was being used to fund that lifestyle. Not just daily expenses, but bigger investments too. We're talking about property purchases. And this is where the story takes a serious turn. Wendy is now accusing Sharina of using funds connected to her to buy property. The idea that someone could take money from a situation like this and turn it into property ownership is raising a lot of questions. How did it happen? Who approved it? And most importantly, how much money are we talking about? The court is now looking into these details. They want to understand the full picture.
So yesterday, Wayne made me go and visit Wendy Williams.
I made you go.
Everybody was in on
You know
it.
what? I sort of did because I kept saying, did you go? Did you go? Did you go?
And I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off.
Yeah.
So I pull up, first I pulled up to the wrong building.
Well, it's been a minute.
I know, and I had to walk, but it was okay. And so I get there, I go inside, the door people greet me and and I said, this might be a shot in the dark, sir, but I'm here to visit Wendy. And he shakes his head and he goes, you're a couple of months late.
Wow.
She moved. And I said, oh, and he goes, yeah, that's all I can tell you. So, I start prying. I'm like, well, did they sell the unit? Is it on the market? This was a fabulous duplex. And the building she was living in, which now I can tell you guys, it was supposed to be a hotel originally. And then COVID hit and they couldn't, obviously, no one was supposed to be in a hotel, so they sold it. She told me how much she paid for it. I was like, that was such a steal. It was a beautiful 2-floor, 3-bedroom unit. So I thank you, sir. And then I go and I look for the other people that, live in the building, work in the building.
Start sleuthing.
Yup. And I got my sleuth on. And they said, well, you know what happened? She was getting better. She was coming around. And then she started getting sick again. And because her family's in Florida, and people were coming in her circle that they weren't familiar with, and they didn't know, they couldn't get access to her when they wanted, they moved her down to Florida. So she is allegedly down in Florida with her son, recuperating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we wish her.
We do wish her well.
Yeah.
And Wendy, if you listening, you won. Did he go into jail for Easter? It was true. Everything you said. I always believed. I always knew. You won. And Kev can't get your money neither. Wendy, the judge shut him down. You can stop now, Wendy. The gig's up.
They are examining financial records, property deals, and connections between Kevin and Sharina. And let's be real, if these claims are proven true, this could lead to serious consequences. But here's the twist that nobody expected. This isn't the first time Kevin has faced financial trouble. After Wendy stopped making payments, his situation reportedly started falling apart. Bills began to pile up, expenses became harder to manage, the lifestyle he once enjoyed became difficult to maintain. There were reports saying he fell behind on payments, including housing fees and other basic costs. At one point, it was even suggested that he could lose his home if things didn't improve.
And that raises an important question. If money was being used to buy property before, where did it all go? Because now, things don't look as stable anymore. Sharina is also facing her own problems. Reports say she has been sued over unpaid debts, including a credit card balance that she failed to clear. What once seemed like small amounts has now turned into legal issues. And here's where the drama gets even deeper. Sources claim that Sharina is now blaming Wendy for everything. She believes that if the money had continued, none of these problems would have happened. But a lot of people are not buying that. From the outside, it looks like a situation where decisions were made, money was spent, and now the consequences are catching up. Blaming someone else doesn't change what already happened. Still, emotions are running high. For Wendy, this is not just about money. This is about betrayal, trust, and everything she lost along the way. Imagine building a life with someone, only to find out that behind your back, they were creating another life using your resources. That kind of pain doesn't go away easily. And even though she has tried to move forward, situations like this bring everything back. It's like reopening old wounds. At the same time, the public is watching closely. People have a lot to say. Some support Wendy, saying she has every right to fight back. Others are shocked by how far things have gone. Many believe this is karma. They feel that the same situation that caused Wendy pain is now coming back around. But not everyone sees it that way. Some people think this is just a sad ending to a complicated story. A relationship that once had love and success has now turned into court battles and financial stress. And honestly, it's hard not to feel something when you look at the full picture. This isn't just about headlines. These are real people dealing with real consequences. Wendy went from being at the top of her career to facing personal struggles, health issues, and now legal battles connected to her past. Kevin went from managing a successful career to dealing with financial pressure and public criticism. And Sharina, who was once in the background, is now at the center of a serious accusation. Everything has changed. But here's the part that keeps everyone hooked. The story is not over yet. The court is still reviewing everything. Decisions have not been finalized, and until that happens, anything is possible. Will Wendy prove her claims? Will Kevin be held responsible? What happens if the property purchases are confirmed to be linked to her money? These are the questions everyone is waiting to see answered. And no matter what the outcome is, one thing is clear. This situation has already left a mark. It has changed how people see this entire story. It has revealed details that were once hidden, and it has shown just how complicated relationships can become when money, trust, and betrayal are involved. As for Wendy, many people believe she still has the strength to come back stronger. She has faced challenges before and found a way to keep going. Maybe this is just another chapter in her journey. Or maybe this is the moment where everything finally gets settled. Either way, the truth is slowly coming out, and when it does, it could change everything we thought we knew. So now I want to hear from you. Do you think Wendy is right to take this legal step? Or do you think there's more to the story that we haven't seen yet? Because if there's one thing we can all agree on, this drama is far from finished.